really important to just say that I know I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I know that to different people in the world, that sounds many different ways. To some people, it sounds like a privilege. It is a privilege. To some people, it sounds like a cop-out. To some people, it sounds unprofessional. To some people, it sounds like a dream. Whatever it may sound like, I am very aware that I have 3 daughters, and that the way I live my life, because of what I do, as your children, sometimes they do look at what you do and they do want to become that. Am I afraid that my daughters will become a stay-at-home mom? No, I am not. I do believe deep down inside that it is a privilege to be able to raise your children, to teach your children, to guide your children, to mold them, to make sure they are safe and well taken care of. I don't take that lightly. But I also don't want them to be minimized to just what I do. I would think of it the same way as if I was a doctor and one of my daughters wanted to be a doctor. It wouldn't change anything. I don't want them to think that just because of what I do, that's all they can do, or that's the only way they can get my attention. I do have maybe a child or 2, or maybe at different times they may say, you know, I want to be able to stay home with my kids, and I don't frown on that at all. And then there are some that want to work, and that's fine with me as well. I think I just don't want them to be closed in. So I do encourage them to think outside of what I do. Because the way that my life is set up, they may not be in the same situation that I'm in where they can stay at home. And so I wouldn't want them to feel like they are failing at life because they can't. I don't think it's anything in this world that is so disrespectful as the way that this job is sometimes viewed, because we don't get positive feedback. We don't get evaluations that tell us just how well we're doing. And very seldom is there anyone that really looks at what we do and say, you are doing such a great... Yes, people do. People will stop you and say, your children look so nice. Your children are well behaved. Your children are so mannerable and stuff like that. But this is a job that many people scoff at their nose at, or they think for some reason that you may be bougie. I don't know. There is nothing, it is nothing to me that is so disrespectful as to look down on someone because you don't see the value in what they do. This has always been a deep, deep desire of mine from a very small child to be able to make sure that my family is stable. And in the environment that we're in as a military family, that means the world to me. When I grew up, I was not in the most stable situations. And so that became one of my biggest things. When people say they want to become a doctor because one of their siblings passed away or something, or they want to work with special needs because they've experienced a loved one that has special needs, I see what I do as the same thing. Because of the way that I grew up, it became really a deep desire in me to figure out how to do something that I have no experience in, but by the power of God and by the grace of God to figure out how to do it. So I would hope that this would cause the viewers to really think about the way you view stay-at-home moms, but to also understand that just because I am a stay-at-home mom does not mean I want all of my daughters to be stay-at-home moms. There are prices to pay for doing this. I do not receive a raise. I don't receive bonuses. I don't receive accolades that much. I mean, this job is so unappreciated. And so when I'm in a store and I see another mom, I try to be some type of encouragement, especially if they're having a hard time. If I see someone and the child is acting up and stuff, I really do try to encourage them. because it's almost like I need to make a video just about stay-at-home moms. Just because I have 3 daughters and I am a stay-at-home mom, I still believe in raising your daughters to be leaders. Women are capable, and there have been many great accomplishments from women, and they bring something to the table that is needed. And so you may say, yes, they bring help. They not only bring help, but a lot of times they bring common sense, they bring intelligence, they bring another point of view, and it should never be minimized. So I try to empower my daughters to think outside of the box. I try to empower my daughters to think about being a leader, because if there is not a woman at the table, a lot of times the decisions that are made will affect a woman. And if it's not a woman at the table, a lot of times those decisions will be affected negatively. So, all right, guys, I'm here. I thought it'd be really nice to include Maddie in on this talk, because again, she is the oldest girl. I thought it'd be fitting to make this video, seeing as now we have also an elected vice president as the first woman, and she's an African American woman. So I just wanted to get her input on it. So my question to you would be, have you ever looked at my role as a stay-at-home mom and allowed that to limit you on what you want to be? Say hey to him. Come up and say hey. Oh.
Because I still like want to be like fashion.
You still want to be what?
I still want to be like a fashion designer or a businesswoman.
So this year you started and you became a what?
A safety patrol.
Do you think they can hear you?
A safety patrol.
And why were you afraid to try it? Why were you afraid to lead in that way? Be honest.
Because I didn't like really feel comfortable like with talking to total strangers, I guess.
Okay. Now that you've actually stepped into the position, how do you feel now about the same subject?
A bit better, I guess. I'm still shy. I get.
Girl, when you shy?
I'm talking about the job.
Alana, she's shy at school.
I'm talking about what
Exactly. They just gonna keep being no. You think they think you're shy?
I'm talking about with the people when they walk on the crosswalk and stuff.
Oh, but that's not shy. I think y'all put shy with a lot of feelings and emotions, but it's not necessarily shy. Ooh, excuse me. Awkward, maybe, or not wanting to. It had to come out. That's not necessarily shy. So, are you saying that with this? Before you took on this leadership position, you were a bit
awkward,
intimidated?
Well,
Please
yeah.
don't pull your hair, your
Yes.
ears like that. Okay, you were a bit intimidated because
I didn't like. I don't feel all that comfortable with like talking to a whole lot of like different people that I don't know every single day.
okay, and now after having an experience like this, you are now more confident because you realize what?
And I'm leader, I guess.
That you have more confidence now in that area because what?
The kids don't really like get smart that much.
Okay, so a lot of it was just in your head of what you thought you could not do or what you'd be dealing with, right?
Yeah.
I think this is why it's important for females to take on leadership, because we have a lot of myths in our head, or we have a lot of made up ideas of what will happen, or we're simply living with what we've been told, the limitations that we should be. And I think everything has its place, but women can make good decisions. Women can lead other people to make good decisions. And for that reason, women need to exercise leadership. So now that you've realized that we now have an elected vice president that's a woman, how does that make you feel? We've never, ever in history had a woman to serve as a vice president.
What about Michelle Obama?
She was the first lady. That meant she was married to the president. But now we will actually have someone serving in the office of vice president. That has never ever happened in history. How does that make you feel knowing there was a job that once existed for only men that someone that's a woman is just about or getting ready to do?
I feel a bit better to know that somebody's like stepped in.
Sort of like how you stepped into your leadership position?
Yeah.
You know, for me, it makes me think, what else is there? What else is there that exists out there in the world that a woman can step in and do that she just hasn't done because it's never been done before? It's not that we can't do it. And I know a lot of men that are insecure, that may kind of get under their skin. Nothing gets under the skin of an insecure man more than hearing that a woman might make a decision about something. I feel like men who are secure in themselves and they understand their role and their position, they should not be insecure at hearing that you have thoughts. They should not be insecure about realizing you have strengths or that you can accomplish things with them and without them. I feel like it takes you knowing yourself to understand that other people can also do things. So if you're ever in a situation where there is a man, you hear a man talking like that, that's a red flag, okay? Insecure. Any man that is secure and knows himself understands his own strengths, understands his own accomplishments, and should not feel threatened by another female just because she can do something. And if he does, it's a problem. Anyway, I am proud of you figuring out that you can step into a leadership position and that everything that exists in your head is not necessarily true, that you can accomplish things. Anything you want to say to any other young girls, maybe step up. They want to see you close. Anything else you want to tell to maybe a young girl who is maybe considering stepping into a role or doubting what she can do or anything like that? You want to give them some words of encouragement?
Mom!
Look at us, girl. Girl, look at us. All right. What are your words of encouragement?
Don't underestimate yourself.
Okay.
Don't create limits.
Oh, you better.
911!
Hey, you got a pencil in your hand. That's it? You want to say bye? Peace. Keep
Peace.
moving. All right. Thank you guys for chiming in. Hopefully this will create some great discussions for you and your daughters, nieces, sisters, whoever it may be. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.